Are you one of those Shopify users looking for more traffic? Or are you planning to run a successful e-commerce website but don't know how? This video will help you to reach your audience and increase profitability. Yo, what's up SEO hustlers? Welcome back to our channel where it's our job to teach you about how to use SEO to make money online. Today's video is about Shopify SEO and how you can use the platform to get better rankings and generate more traffic. As usual, we will guide you with tips and tricks that are easy to implement. So without further ado, let's dive right in. So let's start with Shopify's financial results for the third quarter of 2020, because that's actually a very interesting point to start from. As you can see, the total revenue in the third quarter was more than 700 million, and which is almost 100% increase if you compare that to the same quarter 1 year ago. This is also very much in line with Shopify's stock price, which is very mind-boggling if you look at it. It started in 2016 around $20 and increased up to more than $1,000 per stock in 2020. And of course, we saw a huge spike after March 2020 where COVID hit us all and many people started an e-commerce store, and that's very much reflected, as you can see, in Shopify's stock price. All in all, Shopify has gained huge popularity over the years. It has now a 20% market share of all e-commerce platforms in the world, and as you can see, big Fortune 500 companies are now using Shopify directly to sell to customers, next to celebrity entrepreneurs like Kylie Jenner and Kanye West, who are also using Shopify. With all that popularity, the question to whether Shopify is an SEO-friendly platform also rose. And it is important to note here that Shopify, just like any other platform, is built on three main pillars: technical SEO, content, and authority. The big difference, obviously, is in that you're using a different CMS with other default settings, a different interface, and different elements that you're able to customize. So that's also the big and main difference with WordPress, for instance. So then where do you start? Assuming that you've done keyword research, you've chosen your niche, you've chosen your domain name, and you're ready to roll, you will end up on this page where you have Shopify's pricing options. And first of all, you can definitely start with a free trial to look around to get an idea of what it's like. But after that, it is actually crucial to get a monthly paid subscription for Shopify. Without a paid plan, you won't even be able to get indexed, which means no SEO results at all. Besides that, it is crucial to get the right domain, because otherwise you will always end up being a subdomain of Shopify. For this video, we've chosen to use a free trial account in which we can show you all the options. First, you will start off by choosing your theme. There will already be a default theme in place, but you can choose other themes and they can be free, but there's also a full store of themes that you can choose from. It is crucial here that you take mobile friendliness into account, but also that the site speed is top notch. After that, don't forget to add and activate your SSL certificate to get a secure website. You can do this by going to domains, at least usually, and to enable your SSL certificate. It's a very easy thing to do, but it's crucial that you do it. After that, make sure to connect Google Search Console and Google Analytics. The latter you can connect by going to Preferences, and here you can see Google Analytics. You can add your code in here and they will be connected. So it's as easy as that. Then you're ready to do the real SEO work. And we will start off with technical SEO, because it's so crucial for search engines to be able to crawl and index your website well to obtain those top rankings that you want to get. Starting off with the robots.txt file for Shopify, because that's where the bots would start as well. Google states the following about it: a robots.txt file tells search engine crawlers which pages or files the crawler can or can't request from your site. Shopify doesn't agree with you editing the robots.txt file. They say it's pretty advanced, and there's actually an entire thread on their community about how to edit your robots.txt. We definitely do agree with many of the users stating that it's a bit weird that you cannot edit your robots.txt file because apparently it is too advanced. However, there is a workaround, and that's by using Cloudflare workers, which basically allows you to build applications on top of Shopify. So this looks something like this. Through Sloth, which is an SEO program on Cloudflare workers, you can basically modify and override elements of the website. Then over to the XML sitemap. A sitemap is a file where you provide information about pages, images, videos, and other files on your website and the relationship between them. It helps search engines to crawl and index your website a bit better. So how does Shopify handle these XML sitemaps? As you can find on their own website, they say they're generated automatically and you can find them at the root directory of your Shopify store. That means your sitename.com/sitemap.xml. Pretty obvious. However, if you want to customize your sitemap, what happens then? On their community again, of course, people asked that question first in 2015, but very recently as well. And unfortunately, there is no method within Shopify that allows you to customize the XML sitemap. However, there are actually a couple of options that allow you to customize the XML sitemap. The first one is pretty straightforward because that's just adding a Shopify app such as Smart SEO, Site Robot, or Image Sitemap. Smart SEO, one of the examples, has a free plan, also a paid plan, but both allow you to customize your sitemap. The other two are pretty advanced, of which one includes uploading a custom sitemap and then redirecting the old XML sitemap to a new one. And the last option again is by using Cloudflare workers, but that's really advanced and not recommended if you don't want to go into the rabbit hole too much. So then over to site architecture. Site architecture is incredibly crucial in the process of creating and setting up your website. It helps users and search engines to understand the hierarchy of your website. So how does Shopify handle site architecture? Well, if we go to our online store and we head over to navigation, you can see that there are two default menus already in there, the footer menu and the main menu. Here you can add another menu, but for now that's not relevant. If we go to the main menu, you can see that it's pretty straightforward to add menu items. And I really like the drag and drop option of Shopify, where it lets you to actually create a nested subcategory under the main category. And this also allows you to have a drop-down menu. Another issue users often encounter is duplicate content. And although duplicate content doesn't really lead to a full-on Google penalty, it can definitely cause crawling and indexation issues that prevent content from ranking well. So there are a couple of very common duplicate content challenges on Shopify. First of all is the domain-related duplicate content issue, in which multiple versions of the website are available. And this is actually very, very easy to overcome, because if you head to your online store and go to the domain section, there's a button that says enable redirection. And if you click it, you enable to redirect all traffic to your primary domain. Next one to overcome duplicate content are of course canonical tags. This tag can often be found in the HTML code and help search engines to understand the most representative and original page of the content. So Shopify actually handles it in a way that isn't that straightforward, but it is possible to edit. So if you're on your homepage and you would go to products, you can click on collections, which is basically the product theme. And as you can see right now, as we didn't make a collection yet, we can click homepage, and here you can see you can edit a lot of elements, add some products, but also edit the website SEO, and you should click there. And all the way at the bottom you can see URL and handle, and changing this will allow you to change the canonical tag. Structured data is another way of increasing the visibility in the SERP. It is an umbrella term for all the schema markup and data that can provide more data and context around your website. Google, that's good to know, Google prefers JSON LD as the format to deliver structured data in. There are different types of structured data that are very relevant for Shopify stores. Think about very recently, of course, COVID-19 announcements. It's still in beta, but could be very relevant, especially if your store faces a lot of changes due to COVID. Other things include FAQs, because they could get you extended search results, and you could directly answer questions of users in the SERP. Maybe how-tos could be relevant, especially if you have a product that requires an how-to. If you have a local business, don't forget to add some local business structure data. Of course, pretty straightforward, but adding your logo for more visibility. And maybe one of the most important ones for Shopify is product structure data. Sometimes already integrated in some Shopify themes, but it creates more information about your product and lets you to have a broader presence of your products on the website. So very important to add. If you have a website around recipes, food, drinks, then don't forget to add some structured data for recipes. Obviously, content is still king, and you will need content to rank well on a set of keywords. So besides your own keyword research, your copywriting skills, what does Shopify allow you to do with content, and how can you optimize it? Let's start off with the metadata. And with metadata, we're pointing at page titles and meta descriptions, and they can easily be edited at the search engine listing preview at each section of the page, in which you get the option to customize your page title and description. And again, this is pretty straightforward. To find the search engine listing preview, you just head to your Shopify store, go to the product section, and from there you click on collections. And obviously we only have one page here because we didn't create a full store. So you select homepage, and there you have it, all the editable elements. And here you can see the search engine listing preview, edit website SEO. And from there you can change the page title and whatever you want, and create a fitting description. Especially if you have a very large website with a lot of products, it can be a good idea to create templates for your page titles and meta descriptions. Otherwise, you will probably end up customizing all those page titles and descriptions individually and wasting your time. Creating templates can be done with Shopify apps. Fav SEO is one of the best ones for this, and actually allows you to bulk optimize your titles and meta descriptions. Very good tip if you want to save some time. Over to headings, another very important element for SEO. It's super straightforward again. Just go to your text editor, click on formatting, and you can select the type of heading that you would like. Use the H1 only once, and make sure that your main keyword is in there. You can select multiple H2s throughout your article or throughout your collection page, and make sure the more long tail keywords and titles of your paragraphs are included in there. Next to your text editor, you can already see the button for adding an image. And here it is good to pay attention to a couple of things. Make sure your image has the right sizing, and you could use Crush to compress the size and to make sure your performance and site speed is very high and doing very well, which will improve your rankings. Also, don't forget to make the file name very descriptive, so to add a keyword in that. And also, when you upload your image, you will have the option to create a alt text for it. Also, don't forget to do that, because it helps search engines to understand what your image is about. To conclude and end the story about content on Shopify, it is also good to mention that there are different types of pages that you can add and edit. So the first one being the collection pages, and these are basically your category and subcategory pages. For category pages, your high over category pages use high volume keywords. For your subcategory, you can use a bit lower volume keywords, but they will describe your product characteristics. Then of course you will also have your product pages. They're often pretty overlooked, but you can use them to describe your products and to be visible in the search results page for these products. So definitely optimize those as well. And then of course there's an entire section that Shopify added for blog pages, which is very crucial as well. Many Shopify stores don't include a blog, but we highly recommend you do, especially for having the long reads and everything related to the awareness phase of your customer. So definitely don't forget to include a blog and use it to focus on those long tail keywords. We're skipping the part of building authority for your Shopify web store, because that's basically the same as for any other website you would have. So check out our other articles and videos about creating authority for websites, and move over to the next question, which is Shopify a good platform for SEO? As with many other SEO questions, the answer is that it depends. And it really does. It depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for a super advanced SEO playfield, where you can customize everything, then you're not at the right place. If you're looking for a very user-friendly system to set up your e-commerce store, then it is actually a very good place to start at. It has the basic SEO stuff in place. It lets you customize the content elements. Most technical SEO elements are, well, there and correct. And if you want to add more advanced stuff, you can always use the Shopify apps that allow you to create more advanced SEO stuff, such as structured data or customized XML sitemaps. So all in all, I think Shopify is definitely a very good place to start your e-commerce platform for SEO. Already said it, but what makes it suck, of course, is that it doesn't let you to do those advanced stuff, and that it doesn't let you to customize everything that you want. Elements that, well, pretty much frustrate us are, of course, that you cannot edit the robots.txt file, not edit the XML sitemap, and that it has some duplicate content issues. We're not saying that you cannot get them right, but it takes a pretty big hassle to get them right, and we don't really understand why Shopify makes it so hard for their users to customize these elements. So to conclude our article and our video, we created a Shopify SEO checklist with 10 key takeaways that you should absolutely not forget. First of all, number one is choose a mobile friendly theme with high site performance. This really increases the likelihood of better rankings in the future. Then of course connect to GA and Google Search Console to get the data in, perform a good keyword analysis to get the right search data, and from there create a site architecture based on the keyword research. Add a blog, write blog pages also based on your keyword research. Make sure every important page can get crawled and indexed by having at least the technical basics optimized. Then of course make sure to optimize metadata for every single page if needed by using templates, and add keywords and specific good copy to your category, subcategory and product pages. And of course, especially since it's e-commerce, images are incredibly important, so don't forget to add and optimize images. And from there you have your website, you have your content, your technical stuff is there, and you can start doing outreach and building links to create that authority that will really boost your rankings. So that was it for today. We're very curious to hear your Shopify journeys and stories, and possibly if we can help you with that. So if you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and hope to see you in the next one. Peace.